Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Founders Grid, sponsored by Gaper.io. Today we have Jordan. Jordan is the founder at Itembank. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Jordan, a brief background about yourself, what you've been doing prior to Itembank.
I had many odd jobs and different jobs, but as far as having a sustainable amount of time put into different sectors, for a while I was a stockbroker. And then afterwards, I got into the real estate business where I had a 15-year real estate career, having multiple offices in Manhattan with sales agents in each office that I working on commission plus some salary people. So, I had anywhere from 25 to sometimes 75 people that I was somewhat responsible for, again, either on a commission basis or on salary basis. And then after that, I got into the natural resources business, which is probably another almost 15-year career, drilling oil and gas wells out in the Midwest, Colorado and Kansas. And then getting into mining. I was down in Chile, living in Chile, had a copper mine, and was getting into the gold business. And now for the last 3 years, I've also been involved in the blockchain and digital asset business, cryptocurrency business, and that's really where Itembank comes in. So that's my career, and here I am.
Interesting. So can you elaborate a bit more on what you're doing at Itembank?
So Itembank, we're tokenizing basic human needs, and every community has some basic human needs or they would perish. So by tokenizing the value of them, we give them, every community, basically a currency, an ability to trade. Even the poorest communities have some of these basic human needs. We break them into 5 categories, which is food, clothing, shelter, medical, and hygiene supplies, and paper, like toilet paper. And then also you can take the tokenized value of information that's reported back to us, and we are creating valuations from that, relative valuations. And I just give you one example that might make it clear. If you were walking down the street one day and you got clunked in the head and you woke up and you were freezing cold, naked, bloody, and you're a mess, but you knew where your Bitcoin and your gold and your fiat cash was, you would trade any of those things for a hotel room, for clothing, for bandages for your head, for food. And those are your basic human needs. And those are where values, those are the products that everybody has, whether you're rich or poor, and should actually be the bedrock of value. There's a lot of humanitarian twist to the project, but it takes a while to explain all that.
Interesting. So as a founder, Jordan, you're forced to wear multiple hats, from looking after the accounts finance, looking after the technology, looking after the user experience, workflow, sales, So how have you been able to cope up with it over Zoom? And the next question would be the employee, your team's health, and the team burnouts that is a big topic. So let's do the first question, then let's talk about the team burnouts after that.
Well, as far as coping with basically moving a project forward and managing a team by Zoom has been easy. I think it's easy because of the business I'm in, which is one of the tenets of blockchain and digital asset projects, many times, not all of them, but is some emphasis on decentralization. So, people are working with each other from all over the world, and we're kind of used to doing it through Skype and now Zoom and other technologies. So it really hasn't been that difficult for me. I can imagine other industries are, not used to doing it this way, and they've had major adjustments. But for for us, it hasn't been that big of an adjustment. Obviously, we're not able to travel, so we're just forced to do it this way.
Got it. So, which brings me to the question of team health, and because as a let me elaborate for it. As a founders, all the founders are workaholics. For me, being head of sales and marketing, I'm very extrovert by nature, and I consider myself to be a workaholic. For me, pre-COVID world, the balance between used to be if I reach home, that means I need to switch off and go to sleep. So I can start my day at like 6 a.m. in the morning, but I'm reaching home at midnight. So when reaching home, I used to realize, okay, I need to switch off my brain, go to sleep, and be back for work again. But now it's work from home. And by July, I started to feel the burnouts personally myself. And the ripple effect was because the team was also feeling it. Because I used to be like, instead of 14 hours, I was kind of like putting in the extra 1 or 2 hours that I was saving through commute. And the team was feeling that all that burn. So then I distanced myself. And also, did you feel those kind of things? And how were you able to go through it?
It honestly hasn't been any different
Okay.
for me. Yes, I'm a workaholic yourself. I think if you speak to anybody who's in the blockchain cryptocurrency space that is trying to really use it for the betterment of mankind, we are, as a group of people, I would say, possessed and love the work we do. So, I mean, definitely my life does go out of balance where I put too much time into work and probably should smell the flowers a little more often and get to the beach and do things like that. I'm able to do that here in Florida. But being that we have all been in a forced economic lockdown, at times not even really allowed to leave our houses. I'm in Florida again. It's probably a little easier here than other states, but there's a time we couldn't go to the park here even. So I just feel fortunate for the last year to have already been working out of my house and just be able to just continue focusing on my work. So in a way, it's been good, but I understand what you're saying. There are times where definitely life gets out of balance. If you really like your work like I do, and you're around it all the time, and you just keep going back to it, and you don't turn it off, and you have to balance your life sometimes. But for me, I think it's a healthy thing right now. So I think I'm fortunate. I can imagine what other people are going through.
Got it. Got it.
Oh no.
And what are the top 3 productivity hacks that you're doing in your life in regards to
The
go through
top 3, I didn't hear the question. Productivity what?
productivity, your personal productivity hack or personal productivity things that you're doing, top 3 qualities of your better productivity as a founder of a team, top 3 of them.
So the 3 things that I'm doing productively, you're saying. Well, one is,
Just to be productive, it can be yoga, it can be eating, or it can be like writing down, scribbling notes. What are your top 3 productive habits that
well, I mean, the first thing is, and I just started it before um, the forced economic shutdown of the United States. It's a little bit different than everybody else. So it's probably last March. I probably started around last year, getting up at 4 in the morning. And there I have the time to kind of put my life in balance. So from 4 to 8 o'clock, I have 4 hours of time where I go to the gym, I work out, I meditate, get my head straight, I walk, I'm with my dog, I have a dog, my family, and then, I eat and I work as much as I possibly can,
and what
throughout
time
the
do
day.
you go to bed usually?
Oh, anywhere from 9 to 11,
Wow. Wow.
Yes. Yeah,
So getting out at 4 is one. What are the other 2?
that's true. Well, the working out is also another one because it really centers me, the workout and meditation aspect. It just keeps me centered, so the schedule is one thing, but then doing those 2 activities are definitely what keep me centered. And the other thing is just continuing, and I think it's productive to add value to everybody, to my family, my colleagues who I'm working with. It's been difficult for people under this situation. I mean, we're in a situation where we're not functioning normally, and everybody has different adjustments that they've made. And so I just keep trying to add value. And the main thing is adding value to humanity. I think that the career that I have is very scalable. So in the blockchain business, in the cryptocurrency business, if you have success, it can have a very big impact. And so that's what I think is creating the inertia for me personally to stay focused on this project for 3 years and just keep moving forward, is the fact that it has a altruistic aspect to it that's beyond money and beyond glory and all that stuff. It's really to help people out. So it's adding value.
Got it. Got it. Jordan, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm pretty sure we could have talked for another 10 minutes, but my marketing team forces me to keep them within 12 minutes. Thank you so much for being on the show.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.